Hillary Clinton hitting Donald Trump for wanting to kill the so-called death tax. That's opening up a new debate on economics and the morality of taxing someone even after they've passed away. The former Congressman Dennis Kucinich, who supports keeping the estate tax. Dennis, you understand where people are coming from. You're taxed throughout your entire life. Your pay is taxed. You invest that money, that's tax if you're lucky enough to make money on it. You hand it over to someone as a gift, that's tax. I mean, taxes, taxes, taxes. And this is tough because newly made people of wealth are having a tough time passing that on to others. Why should we even have this anymore?
Well, first of all, you have to take a look at estate taxation within the context of the entire tax system. And the entire tax system has been structured to help accelerate the wealth of the country upwards. The next thing is you have to consider that people who are in the tax bracket that Secretary Clinton is talking about, those who are in the top 0.2% or 0.4%, these are individuals that even before they get to that moment of passing on, they have ways like residence trust or foundations and other ways that they can minimize their tax exposure. The third point is this, that in a society which is a democracy, you cannot permit inherited wealth to keep accumulating without any taxation at all. That's asking for trouble because, you know, where do you get the money to run the country if you don't have those who are blessed with great wealth to pay a little bit more because they have more?
So tomorrow morning, a football player who grew up in poverty signs a $100 million contract. Does that come out of someone else's pocket?
What do you mean?
Yeah, the way you have framed this is as if it's static, that we have a certain amount of money, that the pie is a certain size, and it doesn't expand.
The pie is expanding. The pie does expand. Absolutely, the pie.
So what does it matter if someone has a big chunk of an expanding pie? I still have an opportunity to get mine.
Oh, well, you know what? People should. And you know, they can still, if you're talking about an estate tax, they can still, under the current law, keep 60%. They can pass along 60%. That's a lot of money. In some cases, if somebody's estate is worth, right now, anything under $5.45 million is taxed, is not taxed. Anything over almost $6 million is taxed. People should be able to hold on to something. But as far as hold on to all of it, the implications are we could be looking at a feudal system if the wealth keeps accelerating to the top in America. And so we have to move the money. People have money today, move it. You know, put it into charities, put it into trusts, put it into vehicles that help do good for the community. But don't just park it. You want to keep money moving.
But why is it the government's role then to sort of make themselves the middleman in this sort of a moral equation, knowing full well that they're not going to take the money and somehow magically make sure things are evened out somewhere else, but they're going to take an economy that has $19 trillion in debt and just somehow not put it there. I mean, the money never seems to go from the wealthy to the poor. It seems to get stuck in Washington, D.C., and then doled out to their friends, to their cronies.
Well, let me tell you, having served 16 years in Congress, I have the same concerns that you have about how tax dollars are blowing. I've seen trillions of dollars blown in wars that were not necessary. So Washington doesn't necessarily keep an eye on our tax dollars in a way that's responsible. The question of estate taxation, however, is a separate question, and that is, should we permit those who are who perhaps have wealth in excess of $5 billion to be able to park that money and to just try to pass it on from generation to generation? Or should we create vehicles for them to have trust, to do good, residence trusts, they wait for protect part of the increase of their value of the property, and other charitable endeavors that can help the society today?
Well,
but you know, we want people to be successful in our society.
You know, I got to tell you though, Dennis, I go to hospitals around the world. You go to orphanages around the country, and you see names on there of these billionaires who are amazing benefactors, and I just think it's a mistake for the government to think that that's their job, and that somehow any money that people make, they're just only borrowing it. Ultimately, it belongs back to the government. I think it's a disincentive to creating wealth. But let's leave it there. I appreciate your answers. They were spot on as usual, and I love having these discussions with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.